All right. Alrighty. Hey there, guys. How's it going? Today we're gonna talk about back, and This is gonna start when this timer goes down to 0. So let's get it started, man. Say hello if you're in the chat. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Say something in the chat if you're in here. Let's see who's here. We're gonna do some fundamental analysis of back and why it would hit $1. I'm gonna dissect the white paper itself. I'm gonna also discuss kind of the fundamentals of why it's undervalued, why it depegged itself $1. Um, so yeah, let's see. All right, we have hit the timer, and let's have a look at the price of BAC. Oop. Let's have a look at the price of BAC. It's looking very, very healthy right now. It's looking sweet, 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 sweet. All right, let's see. Let's see what is going on here. Seems like this is a dead stream. What is the reason for this? all right. How is everybody? How are we doing today? Anybody in the chat right now? I am real excited to talk about Basis Cash. I don't think I've ever been that bullish on a coin, to be honest. There is a lot of reasons why I'm extremely bullish on Basis Cash. Because I do believe that we need a superior stable coin, right? At the moment, we have, collateral backed stable coins, but at the end of the day, you still have to trust the smart contracts. What if we could trust a mathematical algorithm, a formula that actually tries to maintain $1 without actually, diluting everybody else, like Ampleforth or all the other forks of rebase tokens, right? What if there was something that was superior? I think Basis Cash is that answer. And before we dive into how Basis Cash works, how many of you actually hold Basis? How many of you actually hold BAC at the moment? Do you guys hold BAC? Is anybody actually in the stream right now, or is this like a cave where I'm speaking to myself? Hello. Right. So I want to do a fundamental analysis besides me shilling my BAC bags on a live stream, right? Let's have a talk about how BAC actually replicates the existing financial market. Like, how does it actually replicate US dollars? It does this in, quite a number of interesting ways. One thing that I'm really excited about is bonds, right? I think bonds are something that only really exists in governments, right? In nations, in countries, right? I don't think there's any other cryptocurrency that actually issue bonds that allow you to redeem for a token, besides Basis Cash and all the other kind of Basis forks, right? So if we look at the original Basis white paper, we actually learn a lot, right? We learn a lot about the ideology behind building, an algorithmic stablecoin, right? So I really want to kind of dissect this white paper a bit. It does raise a lot of very, very interesting assumptions and kind of how the creators of Basis actually analyze the existing market and the issues that existing, cryptocurrencies have, right? So the biggest issue with cryptocurrencies is volatility, right? And, we don't want any central banks to implement monetary policy, right? The whole point of cryptocurrency is to have a decentralized system, right? And when we have Bitcoin, while it is decentralized, the volatility is still there. And I understand you could say there are other stable coins out there, such as DAI and USDT, but at the end of the day, they are still reliant on something not failing, right? US Tether is reliant on Bitfinex or the Tether company having actual tethers or having used US dollars in their bank account, and DAI relies on MakerDAO having the sufficient ETH backing it. Whereas with an algorithmic stablecoin, you don't really need anything to back it. You need people to trust in the system. You need real game theory. And that is where Basis Cash comes in, right? So what Basis Cash does is it enables a stablecoin to be created with a very, very simple game theory, right? Literally, when supply stays constant, right? Or sorry, when demand stays constant, and if we burn the supply, eventually the price will be propped up, just like Ampleforth, right? If the supply keeps shrinking, eventually we will hit that dollar peg, and this is why we're seeing this massive surge in BAC, in the price of BAC, right? So you can actually see how much BAC is being burnt. If we go on Etherscan, right, you can actually see something called BAB. You can see how many BAC has actually been burnt. And at the moment, there is 45 million Basis Cash that has been burnt. And this number is just going to keep rising until BAC hits $1. And that's when everybody is going to be redeeming their bonds for basic cash. And obviously now you can still buy these bonds at a huge discount, right? $0.3. But there obviously are certain risks. Like what if, what if BAC doesn't hit $1? Well, I think that's pretty much impossible, right? Because, everyone is looking at cryptocurrencies right now. And, if BAC stays below $1, there's just going to be a lot of people, eventually people just keep burning and burning and burning BAC, and it will have to hit that $1 peg. It's if I can pull up Microsoft MS Paint, right, I can draw a simple diagram that explains what my logic is, like what I'm thinking, right? So if I draw a line here and I draw this chart, which is the supply of BAC, right? So let me just write supply, and this is the demand, right? Because I think it's easier to visualize what I'm thinking, right? And if the supply was right here, and we were say we were, this is like $1, and we're at 0.5, right? If it's right here, and we shift the supply to, if we shift it down here, right? If we shift it down here, the supply is going to be less. It's easier if we can actually shift this line. But essentially, let's imagine, me shifting it somewhere like that. So this is a simple economics, man. Like, if the price is below 0.1 and the supply goes down, right? So the supply, I think this is actually a terrible diagram. I need to pull up a proper diagram. Let me just pull this up. I think this is a better. So if you can see right here, if you're in this chat, do say something so I'll know if I'm chatting nonsense and you're not really understanding. So you can see the price and the quantity, right? So this is the equilibrium. So assuming it's $1 is the equilibrium, right? Ignore this thing on the left. If the supply is decreasing, right? If we shift it forward, the price has to go up, because the price will eventually reach a point where it will either go up because there's less supply, or the price would go down because there's less demand. So these two kind of keeps things in sync, right? So with BAC, what's happening is the supply is being shifted. It's going upwards, right? Going up towards, going up on the y-axis, right? So the price has to go up, assuming demand is constant, right? So this is kind of where I'm basing my analysis of buying BAC, right? Obviously, this is not financial advice, right? There's a small chance that we never hit $1, but if we look at Ampleforth, right? Even when Ampleforth hits below $1, it still reach that $1 benchmark, because there will eventually be less Ample circulating. And this is where I'm basing my analysis of BAC. And I mean, if we pull back from this chart and look at the 4-hour chart, I think I need to go to 1 day or so, 12 hours maybe. Nope, 30 minutes. So when BAC first came out, because there was this yield farming going on, right? Everybody was able to farm BAC, and obviously the supply was distributed over 5 days. I think I read it on the Medium post. So we pull back a bit. Yeah, BAC was actually trading at, I think it was trading at 22 or something like that, because the only way to get BAC was to buy BAC and stake DAI. That was the only way to farm. So that's why it shot up quite a fair bit. I think it was probably like 100 or 1,000 on CoinMarketCap. And then it just kept going up. And actually, it maintained that $1 peg for quite some time, right? It actually went above it. And then something just went wrong. I think there were just too many. I think it was relatively successful for quite some time. And then something just happened. I don't really know what happened. The depegging just went downhill, and it hit that ground floor. And right now, we're starting to see that rebound, right? That classic trend reversal. That's why I'm so bullish on that. And I think right now it's still a steal, because I I don't know. I feel like with BAC, you're literally buying dollars at a discount, right? But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but I look. I put my mouth where my money. I put my money where my mouth is, right? I would not tell people to get BAC if I wasn't so bullish on it. And everything I've seen so far just aligns with basic economics, right? So that's kind of that's kind of my thinking. I think based on reasoning and logic. Oh, and in case you haven't seen my previous video, I actually explained more justification of why I believed in BAC besides this economic diagram, right? So, I mean, people compare BAC with empty set dollar. I do like empty set dollar. Like, obviously, I'm still I mean, full disclosure, I own a bit of empty set dollar as well. But I think the incentive there to burn uh, the circulating supply is lower, mostly because of some fundamental game theory that they're lacking. If you're able to burn something and lose it all, there is really no incentive. And with empty set dollar, you can actually buy coupons right at a cheap discount. I think a 56% premium, so you're getting a 56% discount. But if it doesn't reach $1 in 30 days, you lose everything. And I think that's where BAC failed. Like BAC has, sorry, not BAC. Empty Set Dollar has a great website. It looks very sleek. The team seems very competent, but it's just the game theory is subpar. Whereas Basis Cash has a very strong game theory. I think what the team has done is I've never been so astounded by the professionalism of a crypto project, right? They're very quick with the partnerships. I think they even partnered with CurveFi to make their stablecoin migration. CurveFi is it CurveFi? I can't remember. It's not CurveFi. I think it's the one by Andre Cronje, CRV.finance. Yeah, Curve Swaps. That is the okay. Yeah, that is the. All right, let's go. Yeah, that is the Curve version. Is the Yearn version of the Curve Swap. And you can obviously, I think they're gonna launch their own version of this exchange. Having a self-branded exchange is very, very bullish. As you can all see, projects like Uni, Sushi are going through the roof. And if this stable swap launches, if this stable swap for Basis Cash actually launches, this is gonna blow. This is gonna explode. I think probably Basis Share has a higher potential of going above, what it's sitting at. Because to be honest, the most that Basis Cash should go up to is $1. Because when this hits $1, there's gonna be $48 million or $45 million of Basis bonds that is gonna flood the market, which is good because the whole point of having a stable coin is for it to maintain a dollar peg. You don't want above $1, and you don't want below $1. Anywhere if that is, fluctuating a bit above or below what is okay. But if it's way too much or if it's way below, which it is right now, is a brilliant reason to buy, right? And I think in my last video, I said there was inflation for BAC. This is not the case. You can only earn Basis Share when you stake your Uniswap LP. And these are actually really nice, annual returns. That's why there's more selling pressure for Basis Share, but there is none for BAC. Well, there was before, but now that we're on a trend reversal, there is pretty much no resistance, right? Everybody sees the value of a depegged, underpegged stablecoin, and BAC is like, for me, it's like free money. If I had more money at here, I would have bought more, but I've been buying it up since it's started recovering. I've been paying attention to these stable coins, these algorithmic stable coins for quite some time, but I really only understood the full implication and what Basis Cash is doing until I read the white paper, right? In case you haven't read and you think about buying a Basis share and you want to make sure that you're making the right choice, you want to read it. You want to read that white paper, man. Make sure you're making the right financial decision. Let's have a look at some of the Basis Cash whales, man. We want to know if the whales are buying up, because at the end of the day, the whales are the market makers, the movement makers, and people that control the protocol, right? So we look at the holders, right? You could see the first address. He's holding 3.8 million BAC. And yeah, he's been buying quite a fair bit. We can actually analyze, like right here. Right, so transfer. Yeah, this is 611,000. Okay, so yeah, he swapped 600k DAI for 338 BAC. You can see that price difference, right? So I'm thinking he bought it when it was slightly underpegged. Obviously, so far it hasn't fared well because on paper he has lost around $250,000, right? So he's a true believer in the repeg of BAC, right? Because he's been buying it on the way down, and only an idiot would buy on the way down unless you had strong conviction. And I wouldn't be surprised if these people that are buying it up or the VCs, because the VCs have actually invested $133 million into Basis Cash, right? Yeah, this is looking, it looks quite brutal. I'm not sure how much money he has lost right now. That's even more reason for it to go to $1, right? So much money's at stake. This thing definitely has to repeg. Man, strong hands always wins, right? And the team is also well funded. They have $710,000, and they also have a lot of partnership. I'm not sure if you're aware, but if you provide liquidity to the BAC BAB pair on SushiSwap, you can actually get free sushi. I think it's their new liquidity incentive program. What's the reward? Let's have a look. What is the reward for providing? It's the onsen, I think, for providing back. Oh, okay, right here. So 154 per year. That's actually quite nice. I've been thinking about it, and this is this is great. This is a lot. A great return for providing liquidity to a stablecoin, right? But this is the bond and cash pair. So if you ever decide to swap to the bonds by burning your BAC, and you want to get back or convert it back to fiat, you can always do it, right? So this pair enables you. I mean, the liquidity is quite low compared to the BAC DAI pair, which is I think 30 something million, if I remember correctly, or maybe it changed. Let's have a look. Tokens. So right now it's sitting at, I think it's more than 22. I think it's 44. For some reason, Uniswap Info likes to chop it in half. But right here, we're sitting at $44 million in liquidity. 22 million DAI. That is some strong liquidity. And yeah, this number is definitely going to go up. Like, I think at the peak, oh crap. At the peak, it was sitting at 170 million. That is insane. It's crazy. How many projects have, oh, okay. So it even has more than the ETH DAI pair at one point. Okay. So it's sitting at number 6. Uh, yeah, this thing can definitely rise up through the rank. To be honest, I don't even know why this exists. Like, what the hell is HKMT? Look at the volume, $18,000 in volume. That is like pathetic. There is other stablecoins like Frax, but Frax is more kind of half backed, half algorithmic. BAC is kind of the pure algorithmic, and Ample I wouldn't even consider it a stablecoin because it's pretty much gambling at this point. Are we gonna see a live pump or are we gonna see a live dump? Let's pull back the zoom in the candle. So right now it's sitting at 0.55. We are, we're 55% there, right? We just need to, get a 90% pump and we'll get that dollar peg. And everybody's going to be so happy because the algorithmic community stablecoin has succeeded, right? Ampleforth is a VC coin. Basis Cash is a community coin, right? And right now, so far, yeah, things are looking good. Like, these buys are really, really positive. And surprisingly, we're actually doing quite well against the ETH pair. Because ETH has been shooting up quite a fair bit today, I think. What is ETH sitting at? ETH is sitting at $1,484, right? What about the ETH BTC pair? Wow, yeah, ETH is doing its thing. It might break an all-time high, but when ETH goes up, it's even better for BAC because we're in a bull market, so more money into crypto, right? And I'm sure people want to take their money off and put it into BAC and get it to that dollar peg, man. It's literally free money. Let me have a look at basis share because this is a good indicator of how BAC will do. Because people will only, if BAC base BAS is going up, people want to farm it. Okay, it's gone down 16% today. BAS is the speculative crypto of basis cash. Is it gonna do a rebound? I think if we pull back a bit, you could see there was a rebound quite a number of times. So here, 5x. Wow, that is insane. And then from here, $95, it hit 1,000. When was that? That is insane. I don't think I was aware of that. Oh, that was 2 months, 1 or 2 months ago. Wow, that is insane. Yeah, I'm still shocked by that. And now it's kind of when you kind of see it slowing down. The dips. Here and then now there's a trend reversal. I mean, basis share could be a good buy, in my opinion, because the team today has actually announced a migration plan. They want to migrate to BASV2. Let's have a read about that. Like, I don't know too much about the migration plan because I'm a back holder. I don't really need to care about how basis share is holding. But if this product is going to succeed, basis shares will go up quite a bit as well because they're tied together, right? Let's have a look. So, who's it for? Oh, inspired by Nanar theory. Okay, yeah. So let's have a look at the migration plan. Let's dissect this, right? So if you're holding basis share, you want to do a migration, and it starts in 4 or 5 days, right? All right, let's have a look at this. Wow, this is an interesting diagram. So the purple token is the basis cash. This one is the basis share, right? So with the basis cash, when there is an expansion, 98% goes to the boardroom, right? And the boardroom, people that can redeem from the boardroom are the ones that hold the basis bond. So you can buy these bonds very, very cheap. And then if there's a contraction, 20% goes to the boardroom as well. I'm very confused why. I'm very confused why there's a contraction. 20% goes to the boardroom. What is the incentive there for printing more cash when there is a, when it goes below $1, right? Interesting. And then there are CDFs as well. I think that is the Treasury Community Development Fund. Oh, okay, CDF. All right, fair enough. I mean, 2% going to CDF is fine because we obviously have to maintain the protocol, right? And then we have the vault. So with the vault, they're partnering with Pickle Finance to develop this vault. That's why you see this pickle right here. And I think the whole point of the vault is to generate passive yield. So the money also goes, money from the vault goes, some of it to the shareholders, to the basic shareholders, and some of it goes to the development fund, right? And the whole point of the community development is they want to introduce way more exciting projects, right? They want to develop synthetic assets, right? It's going to be the stable coin, algorithmic stable coin of synthetic assets. You don't need to rely on, synthetics anymore because Base is going to have their own protocol for trading synths. And then Basis Swap, which is the exchange, and then the Basis Vision Fund, which I'm actually not too sure what it is, but I think they will announce it soon as well, right? I'm surprised the migration time is only, 2 weeks. You have to manually swap their BAS for Bs to once migrated. The swap will be deactivated and you'll only be able to exchange your tokens. This has happened once with YAM when they did that token swap, right? But I think in the end they decided to extend the window period or airdrop people, I think. So I'm not sure if the team will decide to do that. Only time will tell. 15 days to swap, migrate. Okay, that site is not up yet, right? And a new basic share Uniswap will be created, and users will have to remove. Okay, so if you're providing liquidity to BAS and DAI, you want to make sure you withdraw your LP in a couple of days, but not now because you still want to be farming for the next 4 days. Yeah. The driving force behind this migration is the ability to allocate BAS emissions in basis share. Okay, yeah, so right now it's hard-coded, right? The BAS emissions. So they're upgrading it so they can actually reallocate. Okay, that's fair. Nice. But I thought BAS was, the BAS farming period will last 1 year, right? So, I don't know if I agree with a migration, but hey, they might have done the maths and it makes sense to change how BAS is working, right? But obviously, personally, I'm most excited about Stable Swap because this will definitely bring back faster to the peg. But with the Uniswap algorithm, it's a lot easier to to change the price because the curve is is not as steep as the it was way more steep than the Curve Finance curve. Let me just pull it up. Let's pull it up. So with this, well, here you can see with curve, it's you can see the line is way flatter, right? It's way harder to shift the price, right? Because you need to buy quite a bit for the price to even budge. Whereas with Uniswap, it's relatively easy, right? The quantity, which is the constant, was thinner, so it's easier to push it up. Whereas this is constant, so the price will never shift. You don't want that. You want some price movement in case something, for some reason, a certain stable coin is more desired than the other. So they're gonna swap to the curve invariant with the stable swap. The Uniswap just simply doesn't work for stable coins, right? This is a nice little animation. Percentage of BAC emissions allocated to BAC liquidity. Ideal peg. Simply put, the algorithm will incentivize BAC deposits when below peg. Okay, I see what's happening. So they want people to deposit their BAC into into the boardroom, if I remember correctly. It doesn't actually explain too well. Okay, so they're hiding the formula. And augment the stabilization mechanism. The vault will sell when above BAC deposit. Okay, the deposit in the vault and provide liquidity in swap. Farm BAS will be okay. So it's to incentivize people to deposit back when it is essentially the vault will burn back when it is above $1. If it's 1% of vault, wow, every hour, that is pretty steep. Okay, they're really trying really hard to bring it to the peg. Okay, so the vault is storing both. They're actually gonna take the stabilization to the next level, not just how it was written in the white paper, which is great, right? These are some strong economics at play here. Definitely very, very sound in my book. Oh, mystery boxes. See, okay, so there's gonna be token incentive improvement proposals. Okay, this is some exciting stuff. Yeah, so these are gonna be announced after the 7th of February, which is when migration starts. Nice. I am actually quite excited to see. Obviously, it'd be better to see these kind of projects come to life first, but I'm sure the team is very competent. I mean, they've took a dead project and brought it to life, so I'm very confident that these other. All right, let's see how the price have moved. For some reason, the price doesn't actually move at these time of days, so maybe it is gonna move. Yeah, I think the price usually kind of sits around, you know. So maybe tomorrow we're gonna see more action. I think BAC is gonna take a break because nothing should rise parabolically, right? We want to see that steady increase in price, even if the fundamentals are solid, right? So we're gonna see that movement tomorrow morning. Cool. This is it for the the BAC analysis. Yeah, we're gonna do more of this live stream when BAC approaches closer to that dollar peg, which I'm pretty sure will happen in a couple of days. I'm actually so bullish. I'm really looking forward to that pump to the dollar, to the repeg. I call it repegging. That is the right term for it, right? All right, man. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I will catch you in the next one.